help her, Mr. I let you.
Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue, where this episode we have a way larger percentage of sex workers than normal. My name is Mary.
And I'm Sarah.
Oh, that's me. I'm Josh. Yeah, I just completely missed my cue because I was off being blackmailed.
I'd like a quick thank you to our Patreon members. Brendan Fillick, Captain America, Sheen Pye, Justin Ware, Jason Carter, Laura Bernheim, Brad Mulholland, Anita Wren, and Kristen Carlano. Thank you guys. You are our superstars. Thank you very much. Superstar.
Thank you, Molly Shannon.
I loved that. Remember, I'm 50. I can't wait till I'm 50.
That seems like the list is growing there.
Mm-hmm. And that's exciting. That means we're growing.
We have exciting Patreon content out there, don't we?
Yes, we do have exciting Patreon content. We have the book, Dallas by Lee Raintree, where we have many, we're about, I feel like halfway through that book. And we also have an interview with Larry Hagman, and we have...
Is that the one he did with Linda Gray, too?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so Linda's in there, too, everybody.
Yeah. And we have so many things coming up. I literally have a pile of things that I'm just waiting to upload one at a time. So if that extra content is something you're interested in, check it out.
Pile of interviews, huh?
Pile of interviews.
And speaking of interviews, I had the pleasure of doing an After the Barbecue podcast today with Cherie J. Wilson.
So cool. About
the Yellow Rose Gala Foundation, which raises funds for MS research. So they have an event coming up April 15th, and you're going to hear all about it on the podcast, and possible idea for something in the fall that might involve the cast of Dallas.
That would be exciting.
And a certain ranch.
We can't promise anything, though. We can just say it's an idea. It's an idea.
It's an idea that
we're trying.
It's an idea that's kicked around. And Mary and I are meeting up this weekend in Hartford, Connecticut at 90s Con.
And I'm so fucking jealous. God.
And are we both working it that Sunday?
Yeah, we're both working. I am going to be working. Oh my gosh, I should look up the name of the booth. I am working at a friend of a friend's booth on Sunday they make fanny packs, but on a hat.
Oh.
I want a fanny pack.
And we need to get slimed at the slime booth.
You can get slimed?
I got slimed last year. We're getting slimed.
How the fuck am I missing this one thing with y'all? Y'all get to work and get slimed and get fanny packs.
And I'm dressing 90s the whole time.
God damn it.
I will... the closest I can deal with right now is I have a Wayne's World shirt and a Wayne's World hat. So that's
there 90s. You go. I have literally clothes I wore in the 90s still. Like I have a used brownie uniform that I used to wear to the bar in college because that's where my name Girl Scout came from. And I bought one of those like sunflower dresses I'm going to wear over like a white short sleeve shirt.
Like the 90s sunflower, like baby doll. Yeah. I had one. Yeah. I got to find that picture.
Yeah, it's going to be so exciting. I'm going to wear a bunch of baby barrettes. It's going to be so fun.
I'm so mad at y'all.
I wish you could go.
I know. What if I just showed up?
You just show up, yeah. I mean, I'm last minute staying at my friend's Airbnb, so that's pretty exciting.
It's this. Wait a second. Hold on. Whoa. Like leaving Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, I really could have probably gone. Motherfucker. No, I couldn't. No kidding. Never mind. That's why. Okay, go. Sorry.
Yeah. So you're traveling on Patrick Duffy's birthday of all things.
Yes.
The Duff.
Early in the morning.
Okay. And I am coming in Saturday morning, and Sunday I am actually signed up for volunteering, and I got assigned celebrity lines, which means I will be working at one of the celebrity tables.
That'd be cool.
And I have Omri Katz, and when I filled out the application, when asked about previous experience and all, I mentioned working with Omri, good friend of mine, and flooded it with that information. And he said he's going to personally try to request me on Saturday for Sunday, so I could be at his table. So
okay, so the booth I will be at is called Cap Sacks.
Cap sacks, as opposed to nut sacks.
As opposed to nut sacks, it's called Cap Sacks. And yeah, I will be working there. And they're about $20 a piece, and they're in fluorescent colors. And I will definitely be working on Sunday, maybe Saturday. I'm not sure, but definitely Sunday, because that's when they really need me.
Right. Saturday, I could offer volunteer services, but I'm getting in a certain time, and I thought that would be a good day to go around and do celebrity things and get slimed and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, get slimed. I didn't know that was an option. I am so excited about that, because I don't usually do, unless it's Priscilla Presley, I do not usually do like the celebrity pictures and stuff. But getting slimed, I might have to do that. Just like Christina.
You can't do that on television?
Yes.
Oh, Christine. Yeah.
Fucking
and
love that
Alistair
show.
always ending
Love
up in front of the firing squad.
Yes.
But you will need a picture with Omri Katz, of course.
Yeah, I will. Definitely need a picture. Yeah. So Omri and I are the same age. So I feel like I have at least that in my favor.
He's May 30th, 1976. What are you?
January 19th, 1976.
Maybe if y'all go to dinner, you could just like FaceTime me for like 1 minute.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Just like, and I'll be like, hi, Omri.
He was born the exact same day as my college boyfriend, whose birthday is also May 30th, 1976, which I always remember for some reason. And that's like a weird fact, but it's true.
Isn't that funny how you remember stuff like that?
Weird. I can't remember where my keys are right now, but I remember my college boyfriend's birthday. Yeah.
Same here. Birthdays and phone numbers.
Yeah. And death days. I'm good with those too.
Birthdays and phone numbers. Oh, yes. Birthdays. Let's see. Patrick Duffy on Friday, the 17th. Leslie Ann Down on the 17th. Steve Canale was yesterday, the 14th. On March 21st, 1994, Dak Rambo passed away.
So sad.
Kathleen York, her birthday is March 21st.
Who did she play?
She was a waitress that worked with Lucy at the Hot Biscuit.
Gotcha.
The Hot Biscuit. Sorry.
When she was involved with Eddie Cronin.
Oh, was she Eddie's girlfriend?
Yeah, the taller one.
The tall girl. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the tall girl. Okay. I always mix her and Laura Johnson up, who played Alan Beam's blonde girlfriend.
Oh, I mean, it's a similar time. Yeah.
What do we call it? Beamskin rug?
Beamskin rug.
Yeah, the beamskin. But I have been watching Laura Johnson on Falcon Crest.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, nice. She's been on there. And Brenda Strong is going to be on the 25th of March.
Oh.
Well, tonight we are talking about Season 6, Episode 2, 105 of the series, Where There's a Will, ... It was written and directed by Leonard Katzman. It's a twofer, and it aired October 8th, 1982. And also on October 8th, 1982, the number one hit in the Billboard hit in the U.S. was Jack and Diane by John Cougar. In the UK, it was Pass the Dutchie by the Musical Youth. The number one film in the U.S. was An Officer and a Gentleman, a romantic drama starring Richard Gere, Deborah Winger, and Louis Gossett Jr. Born on this day, October 8th, 1982, are two actors. One is actress Amy Beth Hayes. She's a British actress, and you might know her from her roles as Kitty in Mr. Selfridge or Lucy in The Entire History of You. And then also Jake McLaughlin. He's an American actor and Iraq War veteran. He's known for CSI, Criminal Minds, Cloverfield, and The Valley of Elah. And then died on this day, because, births and deaths, was Fernando Lamas. He was an Argentinian-American actor, singer, and director.
Often spoofed by Billy Crystal on Saturday Night Live. You look marvelous.
Oh, is that who he was?
Yes.
I always wondered who that was.
Me too.
Okay, isn't that the father of Lorenzo Lamas?
Oh, Fernando Lamas is the father of Lorenzo Lamas, yes.
And on Dallas,
by the way, what is everybody drinking this evening? Because we do like to drink.
I am drinking some Black Box Cabernet Sauvignon.
I'm drinking some Boda Box Pinot Grigio, low sugar.
I started with some shots of JR bourbon, and I have moved on to sparkling cinnamon cider that is infused with THC.
I have never had one of those. I'm really curious to see how it works.
I'll bring you some back from Vegas because Jody keeps them at her house.
I mean, I
Would
could
you
probably look, but
Would you like me to bring some to the hotel?
Sure.
Can you bring
Is
them
it
in your
legal
suitcase?
Connecticut?
Yeah, you can bring it. You just can't fly with them, I think.
I don't know.
I can bring it, and we can
Okay.
pour a little and try
I'm just
it.
hoping it doesn't put me to sleep because a lot of times that stuff, all it does is make me sleep. So hopefully it does not.
Me too.
And I better chug. Tonight was the first appearance of Alice Herson as Miss Ellie's best friend, Mavis Anderson, a role she would reprise throughout the series. She played Ellen's mother on Ellen. She appeared on the soap operas One Life to Live and General Hospital. She appeared as the First Lady in the Peter Sellers movie Being There, and the 1980 sitcom When the Whistle Blows with Dallas guest star Noble Willingham, who I have to look up because I don't know who Noble Willingham played. But she was cast as Mavis because she worked with Michael Priest on When the Whistle Blows, and he suggested her to Leonard Katzman. The episode was number 2 for the week, and it's the only mention of Harv Smithfield's daughter, Harriet.
It's the only mention of her?
Yes.
Huh.
Fern Fitzgerald, though she had no scenes with Alice Herson, was very happy that Alice joined the cast because she made a friend for life with her, believe it or not.
Huh.
They met on a flight to Dallas, and it was her first time, and she saw Fern reading the script. And she said, "Oh, are you on Dallas?" And Fern thought it was just another fan who was going to ask a lot of questions. But by the time they got to their hotel rooms, they were fast friends. And they continue to talk about that to this day, believe it or not, because Alice is still alive. And I have an old interview with her that never got posted on Ultimate Dallas, so we might be posting that up. Pam's pep talk to Cliff indicated a very strong sibling relationship. A TV Guide reporter noted that when visiting the set once, there was an exchange between Ken and Victoria that really undermined the picture of sibling harmony because Ken could not take her eyes off of her sumptuous bosom.
Gross.
And Victoria said, "Am I ever going to see anything but your eyelids?" So we open on JR struggling with a tie in his bedroom.
Yeah. And then Harv calls from Houston.
Old Harv.
Oh, Harv. And he's basically like, JR, you're stalking me. I'm in Houston. What do you want?
So we gotta meet. So he says, "All right, 5:00 at the office. Can you get there?" Yeah. And you know what I've always noticed about Harv, or George O'Petrie, Petri dish as I call him, the little glasses that he wears that don't have.
I love those. I love them. They're so
they just
like
hang on the.
old.
They just hang on the nose.
Yeah.
They just hang on the nose.
They fit him perfectly. His character, for some reason.
Yes.
So good.
And I love when he takes them off when he's making a point. He's just like,
yeah. You know he's serious when he takes off his glasses.
And he does it all the time. Like, I've noticed that too.
like, are those still in style or no? No, they're not
They
in
should.
style.
They should be.
We should bring him back.
You should bring him back. Mm-hmm.
Bring him
That's right. In fact, bring back that loving feeling.
So we cut to Dallas Memorial, where Cliff seems a little bit better, but he's just so tired.
He is very tired. Afton's helping him drink. I hope it's only water, and not Texas water as we call it, the Texas tea.
Texas tea.
And Pam comes in.
Yeah, she's there to like quote unquote cheer him up, but I don't think she really does.
I say she doesn't. She's not very good at pep talks.
No.
He doesn't shiver when he's told that Bobby's in charge now and JR's out at Ewing Oil.
Yeah, no. Doesn't care. Doesn't give a fuck. He's just like, whatever. They're all the same.
A Ewing is a Ewing is a Ewing. Is a Barnes. No.
Yeah. And then Pam kicks like everyone out of the room, and then like nicely kicks them out of the room. But she's like, "Hey, you guys should go get something to drink, whatever." So she kicks him out, and then she just unleashes on Cliff, and is just kind of a dick. It's like harsh love, tough love.
Well, sometimes you need that kick in the ass to get back on. Like when Bobby dragged JR in front of the mirror.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he did need that.
So Pam needed to do that to Cliff to get him off of his buttocks.
Yeah.
She wasn't wrong in a lot of what she said, but
she wasn't
harsh.
wrong. It was a little harsh, though. I mean, he literally just tried to kill himself. So maybe, But also I think she's scared, and she's reacting out of fright. She doesn't want him to do again.
Yeah, but she's just not a good pep talker, or I don't know.
Right.
She's just not.
Should she go around giving motivational, I'm sorry, as you call it, Mary, sports ball speeches?
Right. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
She says, when we were kids, I thought you were the most wonderful thing there was. And he's like, and now? And she's like, and now I know.
Now I think you're a piece of crap.
No, I just know you're human, which is, oof. Okay. All right.
Now I want to fucking kill you.
Well, Billy Joel said, you're only human. You get your second win. Yeah. And hopefully he gets his second win and gets out of the hospital.
Hopefully.
To biznitch.
Mm-hmm. And then we cut to Ewing Oil, Bobby's office, and he has department heads come in for a meeting.
Yeah. And this is what some people find boring, just the business side of things.
It's the businessing stuff. Yeah.
But essentially, they want him to cut production and refineries by 30%. And he says no more than 25% and try to keep everybody employed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And they also, the refinery too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cutting at the refinery too, yes.
And then Donna rides out to meet Ray in the South Fork pasture.
And I don't know where my head was at for a minute, but I was watching and I couldn't tell riding in. I'm going, that's not Lucy. She can't be on a horse.
Oh, yeah.
She's Charlene Preggers. So.
Right.
But then I was like, oh, it's Donna. Of course. Yeah.
Donna rides that horse.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You've gotten a letter from your Aunt Lillian Trotter.
Right.
Sounds like she's saying rye, like rye bread.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and his quote unquote daddy had come back to town where Aunt Lillian is, and last year, and he's taken ill, and he's been in the hospital, and those medical bills are racking up, and they can't really afford him anymore.
Right. I'm sure the health insurance is crap.
I'm sure. Well, they had to move him to the charity ward or whatever. So I feel like
So you could say he's a charity case.
I mean, yeah, quite literally, yeah.
By the way, they're in Emporia, Kansas. Now, is that a real place, Emporia, or is this made up?
I don't know. I'll look right now.
Emporia is real. I don't know what's there. But yeah, I've heard of it before. Maybe it's not Kansas though, but I have heard of Emporia somewhere.
Yeah, Emporia, Kansas. It's a place. Yep. It's like south of Topeka.
Yeah, that's why I know it, because my sister-in-law lives in Kansas, Topeka.
Okay, so it's between Wichita and Topeka.
That's exactly where she lives. Maybe that's why I've heard it. What's the name of it?
Emporia.
That might be where she lives. Oops.
Maybe she lives by Aunt Lil.
Maybe she lives close to Aunt Lil. I'm going to kill the dog. Oh
Lil, you're quite the pill. Oh.
I don't know what to do with this dog.
So he said Amos Krebs is going to haunt him.
Right.
Forever and ever and
ever. They're like, so she's asking for money. She's like, I wouldn't ask you for money, but we literally don't have it. And he is your daddy, because she doesn't know that he's not his daddy, obviously. And so he's like, okay.
She doesn't know that Margaret was getting bopped by Jock Ewing.
No, she didn't. Do we know, is Lillian then Margaret's sister? Then? Or was it Amos's?
Maybe it's Amos's sister. Maybe I've always gone on the assumption that it's Amos's sister, because I don't know that it was ever discerned.
Yeah.
Pay attention in a couple episodes. For sure.
But it makes more sense if it's Amos's sister, since she's actually like paying. Yeah.
Right. Because what reason would Margaret's sister have to pay?
Other than being loyal to the memory of her sister. Right. So. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a drunk.
Right.
He was a drunk. He wasn't my daddy. Jock Ewing was my daddy. He's a loser. He's a Barnes. No.
So then we cut to Harv, and he introduces JR to his brand new son-in-law, John Baxter, who looks very young, by the way. Like, this kid looks like he's 21 years old.
Yeah.
And how old are they saying he is in it?
They didn't say.
But he's newlywed to Harv's never referred to before and never referred to again daughter Harriet.
Right. And he must be fresh out of law school, so he has to be older than 21, but it doesn't look it. He introduces JR to John, and then JR immediately kicks John out of the room because he wants to talk to Harv alone.
Right. And JR is going to get the bell by the end of this scene.
Yeah, he is.
Tell them why, Mary. Go ahead.
He wants to see his dad's will, and Harv's like, I can't do that because he added a codicil when he was in South America, and it makes it so that it can't be seen by anyone before it's read before the entire family. And JR's like,
well, yeah, I don't care. Show it to me.
Yeah, so show it to me. And he's like, yeah, but I can't do that. And he's like, yeah, but show it to me anyway. And he's like, look, I am loyal mostly to your dad's memory. Like, he was my buddy. We've been friends since before you were born. My loyalty's to him. I'm not doing it.
You weren't even an itch in daddy's pants, okay?
Right. So JR pretends to understand and says, okay, I appreciate your loyalty. All right.
Yeah, good job, Harv.
But I wouldn't trust that.
You never trust JR as far as you can throw him.
No. So then Sue Ellen goes to see Cliff in the hospital.
Boy, this is a scene.
Yeah, she's all dressed in white, like very pure.
First of all, who all wears all white all the time? And you know what? My favorite episode, she's wearing all white. You know what I'm talking about? Swan Song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Pam wore white a lot. Ugh. And then it switched to be Jenna. Jenna wore a lot of white later. Also.
Yeah, she did, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. A lot of white.
But Jenna didn't have a poodle perm.
Didn't have what?
True. A poodle perm.
That's true. Well, that's not... I would say you might call her perm that she had in like 1988 one. It wasn't great.
Wait, in 88, that was that real ugly spiral one, right?
It's like right before she left, and it was a spiral.
Yeah,
one.
Like even her bangs were done into you. That's awful.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Blech.
But it still wasn't a poodle perm.
It wasn't a poodle perm though. Yeah, and it wasn't a mullet like Sue Ellen has. No.
Yeah. After those mistakes, the producer said, no, you can't do that.
No more mullets.
No more mullets.
Yeah.
No more getting your hair cut in between scenes.
Yeah. Stop
Although
it.
Priscilla got in trouble for,
Dang it. So Sue Ellen asks how he is, and he makes a statement that is very much on par with my deceased grandfather, who said, I'm alive.
I'm alive!
Funny story. I wish my grandfather a happy birthday on his 94th birthday. And I said, happy birthday, Grandpa. How are you? And he said, still alive.
It's like on South Park. Yeah, that's me, Billy. I'm your grandpa. I'm alive. Everybody was Billy.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't know his kid's name. Sue Ellen is basically assuaging her. She's telling him that she's guilty. She feels guilty.
Yeah. Yep. She admits that she didn't actually realize how deep his feelings for her were. And she actually literally thought that he was using her. Because I think that's because she was using him and she thought that it was kind of what it was. And so she didn't really realize. And now she does.
Right. Yeah, but he's just like, he's in his little depressive state. He doesn't care.
But don't you think, though, for a little bit, just an inkling, he was using her? I know that he loves her, and I liked them together, actually, but...
I think at the very beginning, he was using her, and then he caught feelings for her for real.
He caught feelings. I love that phrase.
And then I think it was just, because he's not in a very good emotional state to begin with.
Right.
I think she was just, I honestly don't think it was the actual Sue Ellen. I think he built Sue Ellen to be this person in his head, and he was projecting all the things onto her. So it was like his version of Sue Ellen that he was in love with. And I think if they had ended up together, I think that would have been an amazing storyline, but I definitely don't think it would have lasted.
I think it would have lasted like a season, and then something huge happens,
right.
And it was a big...
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because he is always going to be obsessed with going after JR. And that's
his number one thing. Yeah.
That trumps any, I hate that word. That will override any of his relationships.
Yeah, for sure. It will.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. he doesn't think that they can be friends because, just go back to South Fork, go back to JR, start your life, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, because he asked if she's still planning on marrying JR, and she's like, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm confused. And he's like, well, you don't have to worry about me. I'm leaving. And she's like, but we could hang out. And he's like, what, as friends? No way. Okay.
How about friends with benefits?
Well, yeah, but would you really want to hang out with somebody that you just like pretty much were like, oh my God, and then I don't know.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely.
It's like you want to remain
breakup.
Like you want to remain in their life because you care about them, but at the same time, you're like, but
it's going to make it weird. Yeah,
it's going to make it weird and awkward and hard. So
yep. Yeah. Yes.
And then he tells her how little he's feeling about himself right now, and that I just wrote poor Cliff. Because I think he really does have a lot of like low self-esteem stuff happening right now.
Yeah.
Especially after that big ass pep talk from his sister.
Yeah. Didn't help.
Jesus, man.
And then JR at South Fork calls John Baxter, the young guy, to quote unquote get to know him better, which is, I don't know. I think that's a little sus. But they're going to meet for lunch tomorrow at the Cirrus Room at 1 p.m.
And then he calls somebody else to tell them to meet him there at 1:05 p.m. at the Cirrus Room.
Da-da-da.
Sounds like JR's got something going.
Devious plan.
Whoa! As Melanie would say if she was with us tonight.
Yeah.
Melanie is off delivering money to Emporia, Kansas.
Yes.
Emporia,
on behalf of Ray. Yeah.
Yes. Rye. So JR's not the only one setting up a lunch time thing. Sue Ellen sets up a noon lunch meeting with Afton at Gardner Puff's restaurant. That's a strange name. I've not heard of that one. And surprisingly, Afton does agree to show up for this lunch. I hope nobody ends up wearing their lunch because the tension between Afton and Sue Ellen could lead to a food flying, as it were. The tension between them is very high.
It is very high. Yeah.
Or a drink in the face, maybe a slap across the face.
Right. That was on both sides. Like, I think ballsy of Sue Ellen to make the call and ballsy of Afton to accept it. They're both like, ooh.
So back to Rye. Ray decided he's going to send the money to Aunt Lil and just be done with Amos Krebs, and that's the long and short of it.
Yeah, and I think that's a good option.
Yeah,
don't start any small town drama. He doesn't want to lie. Just send money and be done.
In a lonely world,
and it's the right thing to do as well. I think.
Yes. Let's go to lunch.
Yeah. Okay. The ladies meet.
Let's go to lunch. Dun, dun, dun.
Lunch.
Afton has ordered Sue Ellen coffee because Afton remembers shit and is super smart. Remembers that Sue Ellen doesn't drink, so she ordered her coffee.
That's actually a surprisingly cordial move.
It's a very cordial move.
It's very. She did a good job. Good job, Afton.
Yeah.
Snaps for you, Afton.
Yeah.
Afton gets the snaps and JR gets the bell earlier for trying to tell Harv to And what is Sue? She apologizes to Afton about.
This, I was shocked and so proud of Sue Ellen in this moment. Like, I don't know if I've ever been more proud of Sue Ellen than in this moment where she like has some clarity and she's apologizes to Afton for all the pain that she caused. And Afton was like, oh, okay, well, I was kind of worried that you wanted to meet me to tell me that you wanted him back. And Sue Ellen is like, she's like, I'm just worried about him. She's like, I care about him, but I don't love him. And I think you actually do love him and you're good for him. So I want you to be with him and be happy. And that is so big.
Stand up. And she wants her to do a Tammy Wynette and Stand By Your Man.
Yeah. Sue Ellen. I'm going to give her a round of applause. Like, that is Sue Ellen, I love Sue Ellen, but she often is a little cringe when it comes to other women and how
especially apologizing. Yes, and she's grown a lot in the last couple of seasons.
Was she really reading a book? Was she reading a book by Dr. Elby the night before, perhaps?
I don't know, maybe. I don't know, but I'm very proud of her.
Yeah, and it got me thinking that, a lot of people will say, oh, the series is about the Ewings and the Barneses and JR and this and that. What if the real story of Dallas is the journey of Sue Ellen Ewing?
The friends we made along the way. The journey of Sue Ellen. Right?
She's there at the beginning.
Yeah.
She is there in 2014 at the end, and we've seen her growth. What if that is the real story of what Dallas is all about?
I mean, I would totally read that doctoral thesis if someone wrote it, for sure. So,
and I'm going to ask Linda, I'm going to propose that to Linda Gray, that what if her character was really the main character?
I mean, she was on almost the entire time, right? She was only gone the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was pretty much there,
Right. She was there at the beginning, she was there at the end, and we saw her growth as a... Of course, you could also say the same for Bobby, coming in as from being a playboy to becoming the patriarch of the family.
I mean, I feel like Dallas started as one thing and became a whole other thing, and about so many other things that even the people who made it didn't plan on it being. So,
I think you're right.
That would be a good discussion topic one day.
It would, yeah. Also Afton asked her if she's going to marry JR again, and she confides that she is both worried about what will happen if she marries JR and what will happen if she does not marry JR. And they compare the two, Cliff and JR, as the unattainable is what they're always after.
And she really doesn't know what she's going to do. She wishes Afton happiness because she knows she hasn't found it.
Yeah.
That was a very adult scene.
It's one of the most adult scenes so far in the show, honestly. Amazing. And then going back to not being adult.
Exactly.
Let's go to the other one.
Yeah, go back to the other end. JR meets with John.
And they're talking, and
who's that?
It's JR's entertainment coordinator.
Entertainment coordinator. Serena?
Yes.
Oh, they accidentally run into her, and they're like, "Oh, join us at our table."
Yeah, well, I'm in the middle of divorced, and I'm not getting my set. Well, yeah, keep shoveling it on.
I just wasn't meant to be lonely at nights. And he's like, "Oh," and then you can tell that he's falling for it, the guy, because he's literally like basically just like fucking her with his eyes, and he's like, "I can't imagine you would be lonely at night."
So fucking creepy.
Gross.
Excuse me. Harriet is waiting at home. Of course, with a name like Harriet, I wouldn't be going home. I wouldn't be going home to a Harriet. Harriet the spy.
And then JR's like, "Oh, are you dating again?" And she's like, "Well, I would like to date again, but there's just no eligible men." Okay.
Where it is.
And then weird, JR gets an emergency call from work and he has to leave and he has to bail. And I feel like this is what we need to refer to as a classic JR move.
Yep. Let's have John Baxter get out his nope rope and his danger noodle for Serena.
And then we cut to Christopher crying in his crib. And Lucy's just sitting in the room, like staring at him like a creeper.
Just looking at you through those crazy eyes who have shifted from Pam to Lucy.
And then Pam comes in and then she confides her whole situation to Pam in tears. She's 8 weeks pregnant and doesn't know what to do.
Use the A word again.
She's thinking, right. Pam's like, "You're not thinking about having an abortion, are you?" And
she's want to steal another baby. I'm just kidding.
Right. And she's like,
that was bad. Sorry.
Like, I know, but you can see where Pam's coming from in that because
can
Pam's
Sarah get the bell for that one? No.
Yeah. Hey, Christopher got a good home, you know? Hey.
He did, whatever. So Pam's concerned. She's like subtly trying to talk her out of it. She's like, "I hope you're not considering that." And Lucy's like, "I really don't want to deal with it. So it's the only thing I can think of that would make any of this work."
Welcome to the after school special.
I mean, yeah. 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 And so she just makes her promise not to rush into it. And then, so that's all we know.
She doesn't have any other choice, though.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to carry a rapist's baby.
I mean, that's fair. It wasn't her.
Yeah.
I get it. Everybody,
Yeah.
But I see Pam. Like, I had such a hard time having a baby, and you're going to do this, and
right.
I see that.
I can see Pam's like, well, you could give it home, and then she's like, I don't want to have to go through being pregnant's hard. I don't want to have to go through 9 months and become attached to part of my rapist.
Yeah.
Right. And you're putting the rapist's genes out into the world in another generation.
There's that too. You don't know the mental health issues.
The jeans and the corduroys and the dungarees.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the khakis.
Yeah. It's a concern. So yeah,
it's a
you
concern.
can see it's a concern. So you can see why. And Lucy's like, I would love to have a kid. Like, I think that's something I would like to do. Which,
just not right now.
Spoiler, that makes me sad because Lucy never has a kid. But
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a legitimate thing. I mean, we just want Lucy. You should know that being a rapist is not a genetic thing necessarily. That it's not passed down to a baby.
Right. Yeah. Well, we probably not.
A lot of
mental health issues.
Probably not.
Can be.
Some people are just sick individuals, I think.
Right.
No, right. It's got to be in your brain.
Some of them are the spawn. Some of them are the spawn of Satan.
I think it's like, I honestly, after watching so much true crime drama and podcasts, being the expert I now am, not really, but I would say
yes, we
it's
are.
a combination.
Yes, we are.
It's a combination of nature and nurture together to create the monster. So
right.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
We have Cliff is waiting for a wheelchair very impatiently.
Yeah, he wants to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, but it's fucking annoying because they won't let you walk because it gets policy. And you're like, hurry the fuck up. I can roll faster than this.
Right.
Shit.
It's like they're doing the Green Mile. They're walking the Green Mile. If they wheel you out. Wah, 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 wah.
And Rebecca's like, hey, why don't you come stay with me for a while? And Cliff's like, you just want me to come stay with you so I won't kill myself again. And she's like, well, yeah, but...
She wants to make it up to him, and he said he got what he deserved.
I know.
That's horrible. Don't be a fucking asshole. I mean, you got what you deserve. No, you had some problems. You made a fucking mistake, and don't be a fucking asshole. Sorry.
Right. But he's rather chipper to get out of there. You notice?
He is.
I mean,
he's
I would be too. He's probably been pawned on the whole time and just ugh.
Yeah.
Get these people away from me so I can
He just wants some peace and quiet.
I want to eat my cold Chinese food and watch porn or something.
He just wants to eat Chinese food and watch TV. That's all he wants. Be left alone for a while. Yeah, totally. And then we cut to Ellie riding her stationary bike with the Ewing license plate.
That's fucking awesome. I mean, that just put a big happy plus on that.
Well,
such a smile on my face.
We know what somebody's giving this episode, a Ewing license plate on a stationary.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good idea. Oh man. And then Sue Ellen arrives just as Ellie has completed her third pass through Texas.
Jesus.
Now, Teresa has never made a bologna sandwich in her life. Is that?
I don't.
Okay. Number one, bologna is a Southern thing. Fried bologna is a really Southern thing. And if you live in Texas, you've made a fucking bologna or fried bologna sandwich. Just want to tell you.
But then again, hasn't had the same face for more than a few episodes or a season at a time. So some information could be lost along the way there because of the
and I feel like she
revolving
changes names in the 2000s and they call her Carmen.
Like Francesca.
Yeah.
There was a Francesca at one point.
So Ellen's come to pick up John Ross to go visit Southern Cross because she wants to go there and think about her life and what she's going to do. And
which Crosby, Stills, and Nash sang about in their song, The Southern Cross. It's not about a boat.
Ellie is like, well, why don't you just leave John Ross here while you do that? And she's like, no. He's my kid. I'm going to take him. And she's like, no, I really have become attached to him. Please don't take him. And it's awkward for a second. And then so I was I guess I'll leave him then. Okay,
That's kind of weird.
It was, and then like at the end, Ellie had this weird like pause on her face. Like, okay.
Whoa. And then Sue Ellen goes in the house.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't turn around, get in the car, and drive away. She goes in the house.
Yes. Well, I think she's going to see John Ross, is my assumption.
Right, and inspect the bologna sandwich situation.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was expecting to see Tyler Banks in this, but we did not.
Yeah, we don't.
Because there was no macaroni and cheese available on set that day, or grapes.
Or grapes.
Yes.
So Bobby comes to work next morning, or maybe that morning, and finds this guy named Carl and a lady named Millie Laverne waiting for him, which he's not very enthused about.
Is Carl's last name Shirley? That way you have Laverne and Shirley?
Pretty good there, Josh.
Rest in peace, Cindy Williams.
And you can tell Bobby's not enthused to see him. He's like, hey, Carl.
He even goes and tells Phyllis to call and say that the accounting department meeting he'll be late a few minutes.
And he's so obviously lying. He's so and then wink, wink. And she's like,
nudge, wink, wink, say no more, say no more.
The meeting, right? Wink, wink. I'll do that.
You can tell this guy is provides women just by looking at him. He's like a sleaze.
Yeah. So it becomes apparent quite clearly that he is. I actually don't know if we officially call them this these days, but I would call back in the day we would call him a pimp.
That's the only name I know. Pimp.
And
it's her John.
And Millie.
His name is Carl.
I know.
Coral. Hey, Coral.
Hey, Coral.
Coral, get in the house.
So Millie runs a place called the Blue Onion, and the drinks are on her. But I thought they were on Bonnie.
Not at the Blue Onion.
Oh.
The fuck, the Blue Onion?
Blue Onion. But drinks are on me, Bobby. Wink, wink. Bobby just laughs. He's like, okay. Okay.
Is he going to do navel shots?
Maybe. I feel like Bobby in the past 100% would have.
Back in the days when he and Carl were getting booze, broads, and booty.
Right. Just, I feel like I don't even want to know what Bobby was doing in the 70s. Mm-mm.
What?
I don't want to know.
A little of that disco porn music.
Oh, totally. Like some mustaches. Gross.
Well, you saw those moves he was cutting dirt with Pam at the disco.
I did. Oh my God.
The discotheque is my favorite too. Discotheque.
Right. And Pam in that tight white sweater and that booty getting moved around there. Oh,
all the booty.
Ooh.
All the booty.
Oh, yeah. God. Booze, broads, and booty. Not Pirates booty, which you get at your local supermarket.
I love Pirates booty.
I do too.
I preferred Pirates booty, thank you.
Yeah, because we don't want the booty that Carl's providing, because Bobby doesn't want that anymore.
So we cut to John. He just slept with Serena.
Totally. And then we hear the door, and JR comes in, and he is shocked because he's a believer in the sanctity of marriage.
Sanctity of marriage. Like, geez. Okay, and the Academy Award goes to J.R. Ewing.
Sadly, it did not go to Austin Butler, but that's another story.
But it did go to Jamie Lee Curtis, which I was really excited about because she's my girl.
Angela Bassett wasn't too excited.
That was good.
Yeah, you don't want to piss off Tina Turner's movie double there.
Yeah. So yeah, JR's like, I believe in sanctity of marriage. And then he says the line, like my daddy used to say, where there's a way, there's a will.
As opposed to where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
We're going to start hearing all these supposed things that Jock Ewing said that we never heard Jim Davis utter
never
on
heard
the
him say
show.
ever. Yeah, we just heard him say business all the time.
Business.
I am Takapa.
Takapa.
You mean with those women? They should be making watercress sandwiches. Those women sandwiches. The Jock Cop.
Jock.
Oh, no.
So then we got to Southern Cross, where Sue Ellen has awoken early to go on a ride by herself.
On a horse, not a motorcycle, folks.
Yes, a horse ride.
Right. And not a mechanical bull like they do at Billy Bob's. Oh, we have to go to Billy Bob's and have toward the Fort Worth Stockyards.
Yes.
But
it's so much fun.
That ride apparently made Sue Ellen ravenous because she's very hungry.
Yes.
And
then
would not mind if she stayed there permanently with the lonely old man.
Clayton's like, why don't you just move in here? And she's like, I don't know, maybe that's a great, thing. And I'm like, what about her living? She's living on her own. What is wrong with that? She's doing great. Why are now all of a sudden the choice is back between her living at Southern Cross and living at South Fork? Like, she has her own place.
And why is she even questioning that? That's what drives me crazy. She was doing so fucking good.
She's doing great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
One step up and two steps back.
Yeah, yes. And I don't like that.
Right.
She does that a lot.
She just had that scene with Afton where she had grown.
Yes.
And
now she's doubting herself. And it's like, no, you're just so good. But this is also a Leonard Katzman written episode. And, we know how Larry thinks.
Right. So now we learn what JR really wants from John Baxter.
Yeah.
I want to see my daddy's will.
Mm-hmm. While he's day drinking.
Yes.
Hey, nothing wrong with day drinking. I'm just kidding.
Just day drinker.
Yeah, he trades basically his secrecy about the affair for seeing the codicil late at night.
And so if they were just married, then that would not go over well with Harriet.
No, what the hell is... I mean, I don't feel bad for John. There's a lot of the people that JR goes after that I legit feel bad for. I don't feel bad for this John guy at all.
Right. I'm not surprised. I'm surprised there weren't 3 sets of hands on the wedding cake. His, hers, and the divorce lawyer.
So then we cut to Marilee. She goes to see Cliff at his house and offers him a job.
Well, that's still the apartment.
Or the apartment. Well, it's a house. It's apartment. House.
And she wants him to come work for her.
And he's kind of like, do I look stupid to you? And she's just like, no, I'm being serious this time, Cliff. And I feel like for her,
come on.
It's the boy who cried wolf for Marilee. Dude, you can only use that story so many times.
Yeah, she's like flip-flopped every time the wind blows. She's
you cannot blame him for not trusting you. And then we cut to Pam. She's visiting Lucy in her room, and Pam has taken the initiative
continuing to shield Charlene from her baby bump.
Yeah. Yes. We shoot her mostly from just the head up. And,
Dr. Grosvenor, who delivered Lucy.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a trivia question coming, folks. What was the name of the doctor that delivered Lucy as a baby? Write that down.
But it's that dumbass that gives out the sedatives. I'm just kidding.
And so Pam's like, I know that you haven't completely decided, but basically if you decide to go through with having an abortion, I want you to also see a therapist at the same time, which is really excellent advice.
Yeah.
And Lucy's like, why? Why would I need that? It's like the baby's not in my head. And she's like, because they're going to make it so that you can, it'll be easier to figure things out.
Yeah.
About Roger, who's not the first Roger that she's known.
Oh.
There was the Roger that blackmailed her after she tried to accuse her teacher of.
What's his name? Roger too?
Yes.
I think it was.
Oh God. She has bad luck with Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Roger on that.
I think you could say that.
Oh boy.
Aye.
So then Ellie invites Bobby to lunch, which is nice. They haven't done this in a million years. And then they run into Pumpkin Mavis.
He's glad that JR is out of Ewing. He's going to keep him out of there.
Yeah. And Ellie's like, yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
What's JR going to do? Become an astronaut?
So they run into Pumpkin Mavis, and basically Punk and Ellie just apologized to each other for their last encounter about the oil baron's ball where he asked her to go and she freaked out. And he's like, I'm sorry for, I didn't know how you felt about Jock being quote unquote missing. And then she's like, no, I'm sorry for freaking out. I realize now that he's never coming back and my bad. And they make up and they celebrate with champagne.
Right. And Mavis wants to go shopping and he wants her. I love Punk telling them to bring the finest champagne. We got something to celebrate.
Yeah. And Bobby's like, but I really wanted that scotch.
He really wants Ellie to get back with your friends because your friends care about you.
Yeah, exactly. Basically hang out again.
Mavis wants to go shopping again, which seems to be a stereotypical women thing to do when you don't know what to do with a woman.
Right.
Leonard Katzman will just send them shopping.
Be like, we'll go shop, we'll go out to lunch or we'll go shopping. You know those ladies, what those ladies like. Last scene. John brings the will to JR late at night.
Which is one of the thickest documents I've ever seen in
how
my
much shit
life.
is in there?
Huge.
Yeah.
Like, how much shit did he have to, leave to people?
It looks like the novel of War and Peace that Charlie Brown had to read over New Year's.
Seriously. It's ginormous.
Ginormous, yes.
Yeah.
Even the dog agrees.
But the codicil, which he says, if you just want to skip to that, it's the last 2 pages, is handwritten. Because I guess he handwrote it in South America.
And you could kind of see handwriting if you look closely.
Yeah.
Instead of typing.
Yeah. We don't know. We're not privileged enough to know what it says. But JR just says, thank you, Daddy. Thank you. And then looks up. And then freeze frame.
Cutscene. Drink.
And scene.
It's freeze frame on JR, so we just drink once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I am going to give this episode 4.45 bourbons because it's good, but it's got some stuff. And a letter from Aunt Lil.
I'm going to give it 3.75 bourbons and a really bad pep talk from Pam.
Yeah, things kind of moved, but they didn't move. It was just kind of one of those formulaic episodes that gets like a 4.25.
Yeah.
And as I brought up earlier, a Ewing license plate on a stationary bike.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep.
I was waiting to see if anyone stole it because otherwise I would have said a really thick, oversized will.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Something I did not actually bring up before is we were talking about, we obviously mentioned 90s Con coming up this weekend in Hartford.
This weekend.
Obviously, there's Chiller at the end of April down in New Jersey.
Yes, which we will be there.
Linda Gray will be there. Mario Della Casa will be there, and Priscilla Presley. And Rami Zada, who played Johnny Dancer, will be there.
Cool.
And Amy Yasbeck, who played Jamie's friend in Los Angeles in a few episodes, also John Ritter's widow, will be there.
Oh, okay.
And someone from the new series, Jason London. But at the end of June, you got time to plan. If you're anywhere near Burbank, the Hollywood show has Joan Van Ark. Deborah Renard is going to be there. Donna Mills, and I mentioned Donna Mills because she is a Ewing in-law. And Michelle Lee was originally supposed to be there, but she had to cancel. So, and Barbara Carrera will be there. Angelica Nero. Angelica. And what was her name? What was her alias when she returned to the country?
Oh, God.
Andrea Barrett.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's a deep cut. Yeah.
So keep your eyes up for those appearances, and I'm sure there are other things that are going to be coming up.
Yeah. If you're going to be at 90s Con or Chiller in New Jersey, send us a message on our Facebook or our Instagram or our email address, which is theewingbbq@gmail.com, and let us know. And then we can totally meet up with you. And I don't know, go have a drink, take some pictures.
Talk
Chat
Dallas.
Chat Dallas.
Sorry.
Like, just be nerds together. Like, that would be really cool.
Yes.
We'd love to meet you guys. So, like, let us know if that's something that you are around to do, because we would really like to meet you.
Yes.
I would too. Everybody would. We all would. Yes. I couldn't get it out. Sorry.
Right. We're gonna so at 90s Con and also Chiller because all four of us will be at Chiller.
Yeah, all four of us. Yeah, mostly Chiller. And it's in New Jersey,
yes.
so if you're not going to Chiller, but you're around New Jersey, like maybe we could meet at a bar or something. So I don't know. Just send us a message.
If we're in New Jersey, that means my second personality gets to come out. My Jersey. No, she's my fourth. Sorry. My second's my Cajun. Sorry.
As Springsteen said, are you a Jersey girl?
I'm Teresa Buttfuoco.
Oh. And 90s Con has announced there will be a 90s Con in Tampa in September. No guests listed yet.
Why are these things always in Florida?
It doesn't matter, but Tampa is just as far for me. That is the south tip of like down towards Miami. Like it's like a 14-hour drive for me to Florida.
Florida is long. It's a long state.
That's what she said.
Danger Noodle.
No, bro.
And I know Omri Katz will not be at that one because he has a event in California that particular weekend in September. So, but Audrey Landers, I just found it. April 19th at 8 p.m. at the Sarasota Opera House. Here and Now, it's called Oil Baron's Ball, starring Audrey Landers.
I'm sorry, it's called the Oil Baron's Ball?
Excuse me? Say this again.
It's called Oil Baron's Ball. Audrey is performing at the Sarasota Opera House.
Holy shit.
And I will post this on our page. There is a win premium box seats for 2 and entry to the after party will be raffled off to 2 winners.
That's cool.
Yep. And this weekend, St. Patrick's weekend, is the trade days at South Fork Ranch.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So if you're in local the area, vendors, and they will have live music and a car and truck auto show as well.
Awesome.
Those are things that I left out at the beginning.
So join us next time where we'll be talking about season 6, episode 3, episode 106 of the series $1 Billion Question. That'll be in 2 weeks. Before that, we are, unless something goes wrong, we're supposed to be interviewing Morgan Brittany.
Yes, you heard that correctly. Morgan Brittany, Catherine Wentworth, will be joining us.
Catherine.
With those crazy eyes.
Fucking Wentworth is going to join us. I'm so excited. So.
And remember, and when you post on Twitter, give a hashtag Dallas45.
Yeah. Well, until then, and we hope to see you at 90s Con. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Next on Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you want me to lean on your brother Bobby?
Come down on him, Nelson. You know how to do it. It's time, Bob. Time to straighten out Daddy's affairs.
You don't think maybe that reading Daddy's will would put you back at the helm of Ewing Oil, do you?
Maybe you're afraid there might be some changes made around here.
When I hired you because I thought you'd be the best at running Harwood Oil. Now, if I had wanted a package that included sex, I would have hired your brother Bobby.
Bobby, one way or another, that will is going to be read.